welcome or welcome back to Soulful Key. If this is your first time here, it's okay. I consider you a VIP. But if you're an OG and you know me, thank you for supporting Key. Okay. What do I sound like a cheerleader? Anyway, let's just get right into it. So today is the last day of year 28 for me. I am turning 29 tomorrow. So I kind of wanted to do a get ready with me / chit chat, chatty cat, talking about some of the things that I have gone through, some of the things that I've learned, and just overall how I'm feeling getting ready to turn 29. So I feel like this would be the perfect introduction or way to go into my 29th year and just have a sit down discussion with you guys. So grab your tea, grab your water, your coffee, your wine, whatever it is, guys. We're just gonna kick back. This is a Zen space here, and I'm just going to candidly talk about my experience. So if you guys are ready to get into this makeup look, let's do it. All right, guys, so I actually did my brows off camera. I wanted to go ahead and get those taken care of because for some reason I struggle sometimes talking and doing my brows at the same time. I really have to concentrate, so I just decided to go ahead and take care of those before jumping on camera and getting into our little girl talk today. So before I get into it, this video will not be a step-by-step tutorial video on how I do my makeup. I will share all the products that I use. However, this is not a tutorial video. I'm sorry. I'll have one of those sooner than later. But this isn't that video. Not you can see my TV in the background, but I'm listening to like some just chill jazz music. I have it really low. It does say non-copyrighted, but I don't know if I don't need YouTube getting me. So anywho, that's beside the point. I don't have any like order or way that I want to even go into this video. Like I didn't write down any notes or anything. I just kind of wanted to just have a girl talk. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna do some makeup. I'm getting ready to head out and run some errands for the day. So we're just gonna sit here and talk. I got my water. Gotta stay hydrated. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Today that I'm recording is the day before my birthday. And so I wanted to just kind of talk about how I'm feeling and reflect on the past few years, things that I've learned, some of the things that I've gone through, and kind of what I envision 29 being going into 30. So that's kind of how I want to do this video, or some of the things that I want to talk about. Ooh, where do I start? Almost 29. I'm excited. I'm really excited because I have really gone through so much and experienced a lot in my 20s. And I am just appreciative of the mindset that I have now, being that I'm 28 going into my 29th year. And I did not have this mindset, oh my gosh, honestly, majority of my 20s. I don't think I honestly really adopted this mindset fully, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I feel like life is all about growing, learning. You'll never just like arrive at a certain point. Like there's always going to be new things to learn. There's always going to be growth within yourself. And so I can just appreciate. And one of the things that I always say is that while I don't like always having to go through obstacles and go through pain, and no one likes to actually go through that stuff, but the thing that I love about it, or kind of like the silver lining in that, is you're able to really look back over your life and you're able to see all of the mountains that you pretty much overcame, and that's one of the things that I've been reflecting on as I turn 29, is that I was a hotmess.com in my earlier 20s, mid 20s. A hot mess. Like I was, oh my gosh. In the making of trying to record this video, I literally was just thinking like, okay, I know that I want to do YouTube, like I've always wanted to do YouTube and being a part of the YouTube community and recording videos until, if I'm being, completely transparent, my majority of my life, I've struggled with identity, and I've struggled with finding my place and feeling like I belong and feeling like I'm worthy and having confidence. Like, I've always struggled with those things. I've always wanted to do it, but on the same, hand, I was struggling with my self-image, my confidence, my self-worth. So I didn't feel like I was worthy of even like doing those things. As bad as I wanted to do them, I was like, what is it that I actually have to bring to the world? What is it that, you know, what is it that I can give in a positive light, And I had a hard time figuring that out. Like, not only did I have a hard time figuring that out, because once I did, like, okay, well, I could do this. I remember trying to do like natural hair videos, and I was like, okay, well, I can kind of get into the natural hair, but I lacked the confidence. So while I was discovering some of the things that I could bring to the YouTube community, I did not believe in myself. I love to do makeup. I actually started doing makeup during a season of depression after I had my son. And it was just one of those things where I was like, I love all things art. Okay. The channel is Soulful Key. I mean, all things soulfully me. So I was just feeling like, okay, I like the thought of beauty and being able to use my creative juices and come up with different ways and different eyeshadow looks. Like, I just loved everything about makeup, and it took my focus off of some of the things that I was dealing with at that time. So it was really like a coping mechanism for me, but I actually fell in love with the art of makeup. So I'm just looking at different YouTube videos, and I'm like, gosh, the makeup world, I feel like, is potentially just, I don't want to say oversaturated, but I mean, there are a lot of people who are doing makeup, and I have less than 150 subscribers, so I took that as like, okay, I'm still not worthy. I'm still not, like, who's gonna watch it? Who cares? Like, who even cares to be listening to anything that I have to say? Like, these are the thoughts that would consume my mind daily, and it kept me from doing what you guys are actually watching right now, is this video. So I really had to get to a point where, and it's not easy, like I said, guys, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still progressing, but I really had to get to a point where I really started believing in myself, and believing in myself for me, not for, the likes, the comments, the subscribers, not for the views, or, like, I feel like I can, really get consumed with what the world thinks, because that was another thing that I really struggled with in my early 20s and most of my life, honestly. I say early 20s because that is what this video is about. I'm talking about my 20s, my 20 years. But if I'm being honest, these are some of the things that I really struggled with in my teenage years and even as a child. So I really had to adopt the mindset that if this is something that you like to do, if this is something that brings you peace, that brings you fulfillment on the inside, then do it. Like, and it doesn't matter if anyone or no one tunes in. It doesn't matter. It's for you, it's for your fulfillment, it's for your joy, and you're going to be proud of yourself for conquering your fears, for doing something that you love to do, and for just believing in yourself and just conquering those fears. Like, that's one of the things that I have to tell myself daily, is that, God is with you. He's not going to let you fail, like, he knows the desires of your heart. If you like it, then hey, go with it. That's also another thing that I feel like in the makeup community that I struggled with, is watching other people do makeup and thinking, well, my makeup doesn't look like that, so maybe it's not right, you know, like it doesn't look the way someone else's looks, so I'm not doing it right, or this isn't how it's supposed to be. And who said that? Who came up? Come on now. Who came up with these narratives? Like, I feel like sometimes we just feed ourselves so much negativity, and nobody has to do it for us. Yes, I feel like the makeup community, there is a lot of people that does makeup. There's a lot of people that will do hair videos. There are a lot of people who are singing. There are a lot of people who do cooking videos. There are a lot of people who do all these different types of things. But one of the things that I have to remember is that they each have something unique about them that they bring to the table. So it doesn't matter if 10,000 people are all doing the same thing. Those 10,000 people are all unique in their own way. And I have to remember that for myself. Like, you know, my makeup may not look like somebody else's makeup, but that's because it's not supposed to look like somebody else's makeup. It's supposed to look like my makeup and how I want my makeup to look. And if I feel that it looks beautiful, which I always do, I'm always amazed at the finished product, of course. Sometimes I be doing my makeup and I be like, girl, where's this going? Okay. It's so funny that my tagline for my channel is all things soulfully me. So it's not limited to just one thing, because I feel like I was also trying to kind of find my place in the world, trying to find where I fit in and how I can bring value. And I realized that I bring value just by being who I am, being who God created me to be. There is a lot of freedom in just being myself, just being me, doing what makes me feel good, giving myself the love that I tend to give other people. It's so much freedom in that. It's so much freedom in being honest. And that is another thing that I have also adopted going into my 29th year, is being honest before God. These last couple of years, God has been a major part of my life. And those of you that know me, like I talk about God all the time. I mean, when you get to know him, when you know him, when you the ones that know, the ones that get it. When you get to know him on a deep level, it's hard not to talk about that. And I feel like that's with any relationship. Like, if you're in a new relationship and you guys are all giddy and lovey-dovey and getting to know each other, you want to talk about that person, you know? Like, you want to let the world know that you're in love. And that's kind of where I am in my relationship with God. Just wanting to grow more in him, learn more about him, because he has truly changed my life, like, tremendously. I mean, nothing, I can't get any of the credit, because if I could, I would have changed my life a long time ago. But clearly, I ain't know what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing. So, yeah, putting God first before everything. I mean, really trying to, and it's not easy, because I have not spent all of my life really walking with God. So this is still new to me. It's still foreign. It's been a couple years, but I like to tell people that I still feel like I'm a baby in my faith. Like, and I feel like I'm going to always be growing and learning new things about God. Another thing that I really want to be intentional about in this 29th year is self-development and self-growth. There are some things and some areas of my life that I feel like I could definitely do a lot better in. And I have been putting them aside, just, you know, because of laziness or fear or whatever the case may be. Just like recording this video and, you know, talking about the things that I have gone through and the things that I've learned in my early 20 years. Letting go of the fear, letting go of the doubt, letting go of the worry, just believing God for the impossible. Like, if you guys know Pastor Michael Todd, you know that one of his taglines is crazy faith. And so I want to be one of those ones who just believes God for like the craziest thing. Like people look at me and they're like, "Girl, you believe in God for what? You say He gonna do what?" So this year, I just really want to be, you know, intentional about the things that I'm doing, what I'm putting in my body, working out more, drinking more water, learning about financial health and wealth and growth and just all of those things. Like, I'm just really wanting to be, I want to go into my 30th year different. Not different in a sense of not being me. Like, I want to definitely stay true to myself, but do things that are going to be beneficial to me in the long run, you know? So, I like the spirit of laziness and procrastination. That's something that I want to do differently. Like, I don't want to just be like, oh, I can get to it another day, or you know, I don't want to continue to live my life doing that. I want to be very intentional with every day that God gives me. So that's kind of where I am, guys. I am really loving where God is taking me, what He's doing in and through me, because it feels amazing. Letting go of those limiting beliefs that I've had for majority of my life. Letting go of those and adopting some more positive beliefs and change my way of thinking, because if I'm going to always think a certain way and it's negatively impacting my life, then I mean nothing's ever going to change. Feeding myself positivity, the things that I am watching, the things that I am listening to, the people that I am listening to, who I have speaking into my spirit, that's a big thing. Who you're listening to and who you are allowing to fill, fill your spirit, fill your mind. And like I said, just being myself, being me. Pastor Todd always says that God cannot bless who you pretend to be. He just blesses who you are. I just want to lean into my opinions, my thoughts, my beliefs, especially if they're positive, and to also not negate anyone else's, to be okay with people having a difference in opinion, a difference in perspective, being okay with that, because not everybody is going to think like me. Not everybody is going to want the same things out of life that I want, and that's okay. God made us all different for a reason. I'm really excited for this birthday because in the previous years, I have spent a lot of birthdays in tears, and I don't mean happy, good tears either. And I just don't think that that is a way that people should spend their birthdays. Like, no, that's not how things should go. That's not how it should be. I want to pour into myself, you know? I want to pour into myself. I want to pour into my son. There was one point in my life where I was so insecure, guys, that I would legitimately do a full face of makeup. Like, I would do my whole face. I'm talking about the works: foundation, concealer, everything that you can think of. I would do a full face, and I would look at myself in the mirror, and I would not be happy with what I saw, guys. Like, there was a time where, like, I thought that because in the time where I actually started learning how to do makeup as just a way to cope with my depression, I was still insecure at that time. So I'm like, not only am I finding a way to cope with my depression, but maybe I can kind of hide behind the makeup, and people will like me more and accept me more because I look prettier. But if I'm being completely honest, guys, I would do a full face of makeup, and I would not because I didn't like the makeup. The makeup would be very pretty, but it didn't matter how much makeup I put on. I still didn't feel beautiful on the inside. And so that is another thing that I struggled with majority of my life. And I realized it in my earlier 20s. I had my son when I was 22. And so in my earlier 20s, I really started realizing it more because I was doing makeup, but I was still feeling empty on the inside. Like I was still feeling like there was something missing. I still didn't feel pretty. I still didn't feel like I had a place in the world. And all of that combined with postpartum depression, sweetie, I was going through it, okay? But God, hey, glory. Here recently, I would say maybe 2 or 3 months ago, because like I said, we're still walking this thing out. I ain't just waking up and I'm a completely different way. Like, this is a process, okay? I started being intentional about loving on myself more, taking care of myself more, taking care of my skin, moisturizing, and just really getting into a little bit more self-care. Let me get some water. I went on a solo date. I went to dinner one night and I had on a when I say very minimal makeup. I didn't do everything that I'm doing now. Like, I really just did just a little something, something. I do remember having lipstick on. I had on like some bright red lipstick that I just love. I love to wear a bright red lip because I just think it looks so sophisticated and beautiful. But yeah, I went to dinner at this place and I remember going in. I ate and I went to the bathroom after I ate because I was getting ready to head back home. And I remember going into the bathroom and I was washing my hands, not even really paying attention to me. Like, I wasn't like looking at myself in the mirror. But as I began to dry my hands, I grabbed a paper towel and I dried my hands and I glanced at myself in the mirror. And I don't really know all the way what came over me this day, but I felt extremely beautiful. And it was almost like I could see inside of myself. Like, it was deeper than me just having makeup on. It wasn't like one of those like, okay, girl, your makeup is doing what it needs to do. You cute. It wasn't that type of. It was like I looked at myself and I just felt really, really beautiful. It was just kind of like one of those things where I felt like God was really like, girl, look at you. Like, if anybody been sleeping on you, it's been you. Like, girl, I don't know. I've been like not believing that I'm beautiful for so long because I just couldn't see it. And what amazed me was the simple fact that I literally did not have on a lot of makeup. It was really, really a weird experience, but I was so appreciative of that moment because that just let me know that the makeup doesn't matter. Like, you can wear a ton of makeup and still feel ugly, still feel worthless, still feel insecure. And that is what I realized that I was beginning to do with makeup. Like, I was starting to, while I still, because I just love a good beat, okay? I don't know, it's just in me. I just like a good beat. While I was still enjoying doing makeup, it began to be a insecurity filler for me. Like, well, if I do my makeup, if I got makeup on, I know I'm getting it. I know I'm serving. And it was a complete opposite because, like I said, I would have on a full face of makeup and not feel beautiful. Like, it was almost like I did all that makeup and spent all that time doing my makeup, but for what? Because I didn't feel beautiful in the end. So that moment was just really, really big for me because it made me realize, and I think even after that, I started like, I would start, I don't think on my solo dates, but I would start like going out and intentionally not wearing makeup. Like I would start just going out maybe to like Starbucks or going out to run errands, because I would do that. Like I would put on a full face if I knew I was going out, because I just felt like, I mean, why would I go outside of the house and not wear makeup? Like, girl, you're going out. You need to look presentable. But I soon realized that presentable does not mean you got to pack on the makeup before you leave the house. Like, presentable just means your hair is not all, you're not going out the house. And, you know, no offense to the girls that like to do this. That's your thing. It's not mine. But going out of the house and you got, you know, you got your bonnet on, or you got your scarf on, or whatever the case might be, like, um, making sure that your face is washed and you brush your teeth and your body is moisturized, and you know, maybe not maybe, because for me, I just love smelling good, but you know, you smell good and you feel good, and that doesn't always equate to you having on a pound of makeup. And I literally thought that it did. I just felt like, you know, well, if I don't got the makeup on, like, what am I doing? Like, why am I going out without makeup on? Like, that's what it's for, right? Like, you're supposed to put it on and go out. And so that was just like a really turning point moment for me in my confidence, because I started looking at myself the way I feel like God looks at me. You know, like the without all of the glitz and the glam and the makeup and the, you know, like God sees our hearts. He sees what no one else can see. He sees what's on the inside. And so that day that I was on my solo date and I went to the restroom and just looked at myself, I just felt like I could see finally what God was seeing. And it was such a freeing moment for me. Like, it felt so good in that moment. And I felt like I was being like, God was like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I see. Do you now you see what I see? Like, this is what I see when I look at you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's gorgeous. Like, she's freaking gorgeous. Like, who was I looking at? What was I looking at before? Like, why did I not feel beautiful before? And I feel like a lot of it has to do with, you know, just society's beauty standards. And you know, being younger, when I was younger, I was teased a lot for the way I look, so I didn't like believe that I was beautiful, you know. And like I said, the makeup was just kind of like, once I really started getting into makeup and I was really starting to kind of learn how to make it work for my face, I was like, oh, well, this is what's going to help me feel more beautiful. And it honestly, it didn't do that. It did the complete opposite. It didn't do that at all, y'all. It didn't do that at all. None of the things that I'm explaining about my walk or how things have gone in my self development and my growth, none of those things could have been accomplished without God. Like, I really needed Him to fill me up on the inside, and for Him to tell me what He thinks about me and how He feels about me, versus society or the world telling me what this should look like, what this should sound like, you know, all of those things. I'm beautiful on the outside, but also in the inside, because it was just something about, I don't know. I just looked at myself and it was just something about what I saw on the inside that was just like, girl. And it just kind of like radiated on the outside. So it just made the outside just that much more noticeable, I guess, if that's the right term to use. But it just felt good. It felt really, really good. It feels good to be loved by God. It feels good to feel like you have purpose, to feel like, you know, that God has you here for a reason. And I am just on a path to really lean into that as well, and to do the things that I feel like God has called me to do. And I'm just excited to be able to share that with you guys, because I want to be able to also have something to look back on and be like, girl, there was a time where you did not even believe in yourself. Like, you didn't even think that any of this stuff was possible. That leads me into another point that I want to further adopt and really settle into my spirit, to the point where I truly believe it for myself. Because I can say, all of these things about, you know, self growth and self development and, things that I want to do for myself personally. But I really want to get into the habit of believing it as well, because it's one thing to say it, but then there's another thing. It's another thing to feel it, to really feel it on the inside. This video is already on, but I thank you guys for sticking with me and rocking with me and getting ready with your girl. Oh, so yeah, by the time you guys see this video, I am gonna be 29. Yay! I'm so excited for my birthday. This look is looking, and girl, it's looking at me. Hey girl. I have rambled on a lot, and forgive me if this video is just kind of all over the place. Like I said, I didn't have an outline of what I wanted to talk about. I just knew that I wanted to talk and I wanted to do my makeup. But I thank you guys so much for rocking with me and sticking with me through this video. It's been a pleasure to have you here. So guys, this is the final look. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, as always, guys, remember to just stay true to who you are. Give yourselves grace, give yourselves love, take care of yourselves, take care of your bodies. I love you guys, and until my next video, bye.